Hello and welcome back to another one of our machine feature videos. My name is Grace and I am one of our educators here at the Quilting Bee. Today we're featuring one of my favorite sergers, which is the Bernette 64. This is the air threading Bernette serger. And it is a cool machine, and so we're going to kind of go through what makes this a special machine that stands out. So first of all, what is air threading? Now, a lot of you will have heard this term because it's not, in fact, a new technology. Air threading is the ability to connect the lower looper and upper looper through tubing to sort of a vacuum system. And so threads are literally vacuumed through and they just pop out the other end of the loopers. Now, I will be showing us how to air thread, but I know that a lot of you are probably familiar with what that is, and that's not the reason that I love this machine. It's one of them, but it's not what makes this guy stand out. So we're actually going to start by talking about what makes this machine different than other air threaders. Bernette in general, in my opinion, does a really good job of loading the most desired features onto their machine. They made a list of what users want, and they've basically put them all onto this. That's true of their sewing machines as well, and hopefully we'll do some features on those later. But for the sergers, what does that mean? Starting in no particular order, we've got a trim bin that clips in, catches your cutoffs as you serge. We've got this nice big extension table. That is unusual in the realm of serging. Look at this LED light as well, really nice and bright. Big table, big space under here, nice and easy to get your needles out, especially having this space to the right of the needles. Okay. Now, actually we'll take this off. Besides having an extension table, which does come off so that you can just have your small table, it has a free arm. And a free arm is the ability to take part of that table away and have a smaller base that you can do, for instance, jeans, cuffs, sleeve cuffs, anything circular that is small, you're going to have a lot easier time having a free arm to slip it onto. What else? Well, they thought, when I take a needle out and I'm doing a 3-thread overlock, what do I do with the extra needle? If I put it on the table, guaranteed it will end up on the floor. They have a little foam pad back here where you just stick that needle until you're ready to put it back in. Keeps it nice and safe for you. Okay, so those are some of the features that make this an awesome machine. We'll hit a few more as we start to thread. So now we really will go through how to air thread the Bernette 64. We always start with our loopers. That's just habit. And we make sure that we lift our presser foot using the presser foot lifter that's actually on the right so that you're no longer reaching around, reaching through to get to your presser foot lifter on the back. Okay. You can do both threads at the same time. I do one at a time. I'm not that cool, can't do both at the same time. So, first thing we need to do is connect the pipes. And we've got a little switch down here. Push that over. No pipes have popped across. Not a big deal, that's because they're not lined up. So all I do is turn my hand wheel until they engage. Super easy. Okay, now that it's connected, I'm going to tuck the end of the thread into the looper that I want to thread, and it's all color-coded. My lower looper is red up here, red down here. I know where this thread's supposed to go. I don't cross them accidentally. So you'll notice I've pulled out quite a bit of extra thread here because when I thread it, I'm going to need extra to be able to pull through so that the tail actually makes it all the way out. There we go. And a second later, it's popped out the end of my lower looper. So I'm just going to leave that there. My secret trick is that largely you can get by without pulling that lower looper up to the back, which is what you're told to do. It's a little bit difficult, and so usually I can get my serge to start forming just letting that dangle. Okay, we'll repeat the process with the upper looper. Pull out some extra. And there's the upper looper threaded. This one I do tuck to the back. Okay, all right, now for the needle threads. This is going to feel very familiar. It's almost like you're threading your sewing machine. With one interesting exception. So, you can see I've got the muscle memory to reach back there. I didn't have to work so hard. I can just do that. Most sewing machines now have built-in needle threaders that are built right here. You push them down. Most sergers still don't have that, but what Bernette has offered you instead is stored as one of the tools in here is a needle threader assist, and I love this tool. We catch the thread into a dedicated groove, we line the threader up, and it pushes a little loop through the eye of the needle. Now, I've got a whole spiel related to this threader. It's really good. You should come in and hear it sometime, but I won't make that part of this video. If you saw that and you're instantly jealous because your serger didn't come with one of these, the good news is we sell them by themselves, and you can get my spiel for free when you come in and get one. All right. All right, needles are threaded. I'm going to tuck my tool away. Go. Oh, there's another feature, which I will pretend I planned that. It's a safety feature. I would not be able to serge with my pipes engaged for the needle, the air threading, excuse me. And so if I try to close the door and go to serge, it doesn't let me. There's a mechanical prevention, and it reminds me to go ahead and disengage. Now I'm actually ready to serge. Okay, as I say in my classes, we never ever judge that first serge because we've got these long tails that have been tangling and such, and we always just try again and then we'll judge the stitch. All right, so here's that serge. This is a 4-thread overlock. I just took this how it was out on our demo floor. It's awesome. We're looking for the looper threads to meet right in the middle where they are, and they're not crunching the fabric, nor are they too far above the fabric. The needle threads look good as well. They're just kind of disappearing, which is what I like to see. Now, the last impressive part of this machine that I wanted to mention, like all Bernina machines, this has what's called micro thread control. So if my loops on the edge of the fabric were too high above the fabric, I've got a couple ways I can fix that. I can tighten my looper threads, their tension. I can increase my cut width, sort of bringing the fabric out to meet the loops. Or, as the Berninas give you the option, I have what's called micro thread control, which is a little lever tucked in here that does the tiniest little wiggle to what I call the stitch finger, which is back here. This is what holds the threads out away from the edge of the fabric as the stitch forms. And so if I wiggle it out or in a little along this plane, it will make the loops spread a little further away from the fabric, a little closer to the fabric. It gives you one more degree of control in case that the tensioning or the cut width changes are not giving you enough control, you're not able to exert enough change over the thread. There's one more way to do that, and that is another reason that this is an awesome full-featured serger. All right, we're gonna do one more stitch together. We're gonna do a 3-thread rolled hem, and I have reset the machine for a 3-thread rolled hem, took out a needle, set my tensions, retracted my stitch finger. If you have not memorized how to set up a rolled hem, which I frankly do not, there is a chart that's easy to read in the Bernette manual, and all sergers come with that chart to let you know what you need to change. In resetting it, I did get to pull out my handy dandy tool, my screwdriver, took the needle out. That needle's now resting in that foam pad back there. All right. I've changed my stitch length down to 1, which is as low as it goes on this machine. And we're going to run this rolled hem. Okay, there's that rolled hem. Now you might notice I'm still seeing a little bit of my turquoise satin through the stitches. And the idea of a rolled hem is that hopefully you just get the pure color of the thread. So to make this look a little nicer, we are going to substitute this white thread for a woolly nylon. So a woolly nylon is a fluffy thread. In essence, it's not spun in the same way that standard serger threads are. So we are going to swap that white thread, which is the upper looper, for the woolly nylon. Now, you may have heard the rumor that you cannot air thread a woolly nylon. I am here to tell you that it is actually incredibly easy to do so with a little workaround. Okay, so first we're going to unthread that upper looper. Okay. Now I'm threading my woolly nylon, and I get down to the point with the air threader. So the issue with air threading a woolly nylon is it really doesn't like to go in that tube no matter how much you cut it or lick it, and it doesn't like to come out the other end. So we have a really nice workaround that was taught to me by my lovely colleague Kate. So she gets credit for this one. What I do is from my thread that I just took off, which is the normal serger thread, I've cut a big loop. So I've got 2 ends paired together and a loop at the other end. Now I'm going to air thread my loop. Connect my pipes, turn the hand wheel. There we go. Okay. Now, the important thing is to not let the entire air threaded loop, or excuse me, to let the entire loop go through the air threading. I have done that. It's pretty comical, just shoots out the other side. So I do need to hold on to the end of the loop. There we go. Okay, so I've got my 2 ends that are coming out the end of the upper looper. Now, I am just going to feed my woolly nylon through that loop. I just pull a couple inches of tail through. And then I'm just going to reel that in using the loop on the other end. Okay, woolly nylon is all threaded. Super easy and actually pretty fun. Okay, there's that woolly nylon rolled hem. And as you can see, the effect is quite different. It's fully covered the turquoise, and all we get is this very soft, satiny feeling rolled hem at the edge. So this is popular on bridesmaids' gowns. They're hemmed in this way. You use a matching color and you can't hardly see the hem. I've done t-shirts with a rolled hem. Really fun, really easy to do with an air threader. So that's just 2 of the stitches that you can do on this machine. There are several more that you do learn about if you end up taking my class. I hope I've convinced you that the Bernette 64 is one cool air threading machine. If you want to come try it out for yourself, of course you just come in. We have all our machines set up to demo and we'd love to have you stop by. Stay tuned for some potential other Bernette videos that we'll be doing in the future.